Okay, welcome back to Christian Education Foundation of Christian Educational Ministries. I think this will be the second month of our tri-semesters. This is October 22nd, Wednesday. That means that the third week of October, and we have one more weekend we've done for this October. Okay, so I do believe that everyone's started to read about foundational issues in Christian education. So I believe everyone got the ideas, right? And I know for sure biblical foundations, there are two of you are reading, and theological foundation, two of you. And then philosophical foundation will be two. And the last, not the last one, the fourth one will be historical foundation. There are three of you will team up, okay? So that's very challenging, right? Simply lecturing will be very helpful, but I don't think lecture is the best way to teach. So lecturing will be one of the way, but it's not the best way to do that. Okay, so that's the best way to do it is discussion and reading and reflection on your paper, and we'll have to come up with main ideas, core concept, diagram, issues, question issues, and then like significant code and developments of ideas, and how it's helpful for your own application, right? Those are the process that we were going to do it over and over again, right? And it will really help you in your reading of your Bible. Like whenever you read a chapter, you can use the same method, okay? And when you read a book, like someone book, and you can use the same method. So that will really help you throughout your life, right? People read about books. I know for sure Simon read a lot of book, right? A lot of books, Burmese, English. I don't know. He read about English a lot. Maybe he read about Burmese.
Yeah, I already bought here.
Oh, you already bought it. Good.
$16.
Yeah, yeah. It's not that expensive. But this book are very this book and the other books are very good for foundation of educational ministries. Um, in the previous year, I taught about very thin book, and I noticed that this is not a college level. And since we are a part of Kairos University, we need to upgrade our academic level. And I think in every classes, some of them will still be using the yellow color textbook. We still be using it. That is very practical, but that is only good for those who are not in college, right? But that's very helpful. So since we would like to be a more university level, we need to have more reading, right? And more reflection and writing. But I am not really, I don't really like examination a lot, right? But I do like exercise, a lot of exercise and reflection, okay? Because I am not good exam checker, I am good at writing, research and writing, and I learn more from research and writing, okay? So reading the book, and then based on the books, you write about it and you research more research, and you learn, and you will learn more, and you will be able to remember forever, right? Every time, like in the future, you will not have a problem. Um, that's why after after learning, after taking a lot of degrees, doctoral, I realized that okay, it has to be more simple in our education, but and yet it has to be practical, right? Okay, that's why I came up with this kind of method, approach, instructional designs, and come up with this kind of like using life development reading summary form to implement our learning. Okay, so let's go back to the textbook that I gave you, and that's in PDF, so we can see it from here. If you want to buy, like Simon, that's fine too. Okay, so let's look at it again. I will talk about introduction again, right? And then we'll see how it's go, right? So let's see, that is the foundation, principle, and practice. So the foundation is all about biblical, theological, philosophical. Those are the foundation. And cultural variables are historical and sociological foundation. So we will cover up to historical now, and the next, after you done this assignment before the end of November, or before, yeah, before the end of November, we will cover the rest of it. So sociological foundation, psychological foundation, and curricular foundation, and educational principle, and education practice. Those are the last one, two, three, four, five of them in December. Okay, so these are this is called diagram. One, this is the main ideas. Okay, one you came up with. When you come up with your main ideas, you have to put here as your main ideas. These are the core concept of this book. Okay, so whenever you look at a figure and diagram, that's explain a lot of that book. Okay, so this is the main ideas for the whole book. Foundation, you have to understand the foundation, and you have to understand the principle, and you have to understand the practices. So in order to understand your foundation, we have to look at it biblical, theological, philosophical foundation as tense, cultural, and cultural universal. And the cultural variables, historical and sociological foundation. And then you move on to personal level, but of course you need to understand psychological foundation and educational content, education principle, and practice. Okay. So I have a question of you. Last time I asked about several things and we talk about it. Okay. So this time I asked about Christian educators. Who are Christian educators? And you all answers, and then we came up with some discussion. And Christian education, what is all about Christian education, and people are and a Christian educator, Christian educators. Who are the Christian educators, right? So yeah, I also asked about what is evangelical and what is Christianity. Okay. So now I would like to ask you about what is theological education and what's the difference between Christian education and theological education. Okay. So how do you, I would like to know your understanding, your perspective of the difference between Christian education and theological education. Oftentimes people confuse about it. They, uh, they think that Christian theological education is higher and Christian education is lower or something, right? So what is your understanding about? Georgian, are you there?
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Evening. How are you doing?
Hanging on in there, sir.
Okay. So my question is, what is Christian education and what is theological education?
So I would say, sir, theological education is more advanced. Like, yes, Christian education, we know about the Bible. Normally, people in church are regular, normal Christians, reading the Bible, going to church. We know the surface, but we don't know the deep.
Mm-hmm.
Because even coming to class here, I've learned so much and understand more about the Word of God than just the basic going to Sunday school, hear the preacher preach. Most of the time I wouldn't understand, but theological education is more deep.
Okay. Right. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah. How about Philemon? What's your understanding about Christian education and theological education? What's the difference between those two?
Yeah, I kind of agree with her. I think Christian education is basically, I would say it as a practice. We live it as a discipline and practice, but then theological would be like study of God Himself. I think especially for individual. So the difference might be, uh, Christian is as a practice, as like a culture or discipline, but then theology should be like more learning about God deeply for ourselves.
Okay. Yeah. How about Peter? Peter from Austria.
Um, Christian education. I, my opinion, I agree with the Georgian.
Mm-hmm.
Like Christian education is simply even like even every Christian we practice the same thing. Like we go to um, I mean the church, Sunday school. Like we go to listen to someone normally like we can learn from studying, but theologian is a little bit deeper, much deeper. Like a theologian people, they are interpreting the Bible from like a Hebrew to, they go the background, Jew background, they go to the Hebrew basics, everything they translated. So sometimes when the Christian education cannot understand the deep things, so
Mm-hmm.
sometimes theology
Mm-hmm. Yep.
theologian explain more deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes when I read, I thought I understand, but when I go back to like when they translate by Hebrew background, Hebrew and Greek, so I can see the different little bit too much, like a very deep. So this is my understanding.
Okay. How about David? What your understanding about
In my
Christian?
opinion, our Christian education is really about what Christianity ethic. What you is you are in Christianity, how you gonna live? What did they will teach about the ethic? The theologies, I think it's gonna be more about studying the Bible, about like we will study about detail about the Bible, knowledge about the Bible. So I think that these two will be different. That Christian education is as a theology.
Hmm. Okay. How about Peter Taya? What was your understanding about theological education and Christian education?
My understanding Christian education is like about grow in faith and character, understanding the Bible, applying Christian, principle or like academic study, something like that. And then church and Christian school, Christian college, seminary,
Mm-hmm.
in the home, uh, explain the history of Christian, how different from public education,
Mm-hmm. Oh.
and yeah. Theological theology educator, right?
Yeah.
Oh, theology educator is I think the biblical study. They are professor,
Hmm.
teacher, professor, right? And the scholar, I think all scholar understand religion, belief, and it's good teaching.
Okay.
Very different, I think. That's all I know. I understand.
Okay. So, all right. How about Yao Tang?
Okay, I understand about this. Public education is number one is a Bible school, and number two is from the church, and number three is from uh, Bible discussion as well. Thank you.
Okay. How about theological education?
Theology education is from Bible school.
Okay. How about William?
I think like teaching and learning process. Center God is true and found in the Bible, and then helping people grow faith, character, and then wisdom, guiding people, kind of like that. So, and a spiritual and what they call yeah, spiritual, yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right. So, oftentimes people think that Christian educations and theological educations or even biblical education all are studying about God in education context, right? Christian are follower of Jesus Christ, and I would like you to listen about how they explain it about Christian education, right? In context. Let's
God, the Bible, and how to live with kindness, love, and faith.
okay.
Christian education teaches about God, the Bible, and how to live with kindness, love, and faith. It helps people understand who God is and how to follow Jesus' teachings. Christian education is all about learning and growing in faith. But what does that really mean? Let's find out. The Bible. The Bible is the most important book in Christian education. It's made up of two parts. The Old Testament tells the history of God's people before Jesus was born. The New Testament tells about Jesus' life, his teachings, and the early Christian church. People read the Bible to learn about God's love, wisdom, and the best way to live their lives. How do people learn about Christianity? People learn about Christianity in different ways. For example, Sunday school. Kids and families go to church to hear Bible stories, do fun activities, and sing songs about faith. Christian schools. In some schools, students learn regular subjects like math and science while also learning about God. Family and community. Many families pray, read the Bible, and talk about faith at home. Some even join youth groups or Christian camps. Christian education isn't just about learning, it's about doing. Jesus taught people to love their neighbors, be kind, and help those in need. People live out their faith by praying, talking to God, and asking for guidance. Helping others includes volunteering, donating, and showing kindness. Last but not least, sharing faith. This means telling others about God's love and being a good example. Christian education helps people grow in their faith, understand right from wrong, and build a strong relationship with God. It also teaches values like honesty, forgiveness, and compassion, which helps us in everyday life. For more information and resources related to Christian education, head to twinkle.com.
Okay. So basically, Christian education is dealing with all areas of life. Okay. Christian educations deal with all areas of life. Something is not included here is Christian educations for art and sciences. So it's moved to Christian higher education, Christian educations to Christian higher education. And there is a level of a foundation, like for younger, and then based on their developmental level of learning about the Bible and the Old Testament, New Testament, then they applied it in the context of their areas of career in the future. So that cover a lot. That cover a lot of life and education, right? So that is something that Christian education taught, and it will begin from pre-K up to PhD. That's called Christian education, right? So it will cover the basic level, uh, primary level, secondary level, post-secondary level. Okay, it's divided into three parts, and it is not limited to one particular field of study. It's covered for art and sciences. Mean in art, you have history, language, all kind of art, and then sciences, you have engineer, medicals, all law kind of things. Is cover up. Okay, so that is broad, very broad in Christian education. We only see for children. Christian education is not only for children. That's for adult like us too, and professional, and those who are in older or higher education as well. Okay, and I would like to show you about theological education. Let me pull out something. Uh, okay, that's something that
Theology is for everyone.
Something here. Okay, let's start it over. Oh, why is theological education important for all
Theology is for
Christians?
everyone. I believe R.C. said that. In fact, he wrote a book, Everyone's a Theologian. It comes back to what theology is. And sort of shame on academic theologians for making it a purely academic thing, and even having such a language that sort of scares people off and talking to themselves. That was never the intent of theology. You go back to the reformers, and certainly they were capable academics, but they were populists. They took the message to the people. They were writing heavy duty, theologically robust catechisms for children. Luther was teaching children every day in his home. They were about teaching the church theology, because ultimately theology belongs to the church. So what we need to do is we need to reorient ourselves to the value of that word and understand its value. Then we can say, well, this question is sort of a moot question, because everyone who loves God loves theology, because it's ultimately just knowing who God is.
That's why I love the tagline of Reformation Bible College, Theology for Life.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's intentional. And it's saying that, this isn't just for someone stepping into the pew. Certainly someone stepping into the pew has to be a specialist in the Bible and a specialist in theology. But I think it's incumbent on all of us, whether we're in the pulpit or in the pew, that we know theology. It's our calling.
That answer was recorded live during a special Ask Ligonier event. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on notifications.
Okay. So theology is one of the field, like studying about God, right? One of the field. Christian education is broader, right? Christian education is much broader, and theology is narrowed down to focus on one areas of study. So is studying about God, but in the context of children's, adult, church, and ministry, right? Those are the context that we study about God, and then the application for all level. Okay, so that is the difference between Christian education and theological education. Theological education is further, as some of you mentioned, as a deeper level of studying about God. Like systematic theology is there, and then biblical theology is there, and then we include applied theology or practical theology. Okay, those are the three areas that cover. Like whenever we design curriculum designed, like the course that you are taking right now, so we have to cover of the general education, and then historical, theological, biblical section, and practical sections of study. So that is how theological education is being designed to help the people understand about God in the context of understanding the Bible and understanding about his story and understanding about systematic theology or biblical theology. And later on, it's called practical theology and applied theology. How you applied it in context, how when you preach, when you educate, when you counsel, and when you do mission, right? Those are the areas that cover under theological education, right? So mostly seminary and Bible college covers a lot, but theological seminary or theological college just focus on that theological education. They cannot really offer on liberal art at theological seminary, but Bible college can offer everything. Okay, so the Bible college movement in the United States and all over the world before Christian college or liberal art college started. So Bible college is the foundations of teaching about Christian education in the general sense of understanding. Okay, right? That is why Bible college is considered a college or university level. Some do call biblical college or biblical university, or some do even call Bible university also, right? Bible based, biblical based, Christ center education. Those are the term that's used in past, and you will see a lot of terminology. Use it in your book, the book that you are reading. Okay, so the first textbook, Foundation for the Future, and then these foundational issues in Christian education, those are the things that you're going to discover. Okay, so the introductions that we just look at it, we have so many things about the history, about Old Testament, New Testament, theological setting, or whatever. So those are the things that you see in your reading. Okay. Okay, so I have to close it down, this one. All right, so oftentimes, some do think that Christian education is very basic, but Christian education can be everything, okay? So theological education, uh, so I would like to see something that theological, theology religious. theological, how can theological education international standards maintain churches of faith? Okay, so theological education is theological education cannot offer liberal art and sciences. Okay, it will just focus on theology, and in the context of biblical theology, historical theology, systematic theology, and practical theology. So under that theological education, it's come, I think, biblical, historical, theological, and then practical. 4 areas can be taught in under theological education. For Christian education, we can teach all kind of areas, right? You can be a theology major, you can be Bible major, you can be art major, science major, no. So you can have all those under Christian education, okay? Christian education, Christian higher education. Let's look at it. What is Christian higher education, okay? Christian higher education, what's the difference between Christian education and Christian higher education? Let me look at it if there is any explanation here. So I would like to look at it. Christian higher education. For a second. There are several explanations, but I would like to see one of them. I'd like to see one of them, okay? So if we look at it, values of Christian education or Christian higher education.
What is the value of Christian higher education? I'm often asked why I chose to achieve my Doctor of Theology degree, even after pastoring full time for over 20 years. Everyone just assumes with that kind of experience, I must have learned everything along the way. The truth is, I did learn a lot through experience. Soon after being born again, I began my academic journey. It was 1994, and we barely had the internet, much less the online learning management system we enjoy today. My church had a connection with a Bible school that offered distance education, as it was called back then. It was great content that is still helping me grow today. Somewhere along the way, I realized how experience and education are actually fuel for each other. Both are necessary to discover everything God has made us to be. Like most of us, I got busy for many years and relied more on experience, and my personal studies were put on hold. But in 2017, I came upon the opportunity to get back to it. I restarted with courses offered by Liberty College of Biblical Studies in partnership with Christian Life School of Theology Global. I found technology had come far, and I was able to enroll in my courses on demand. Lectures were now on video, and exams gave instant results. I could even adjust my learning pace to fit my still busy life. And that isn't even the best part. What I found in the courses were instructors that not only gave me information to raise my IQ, they also imparted to me to raise my EQ. They changed me in ways that allow me to better serve everyone around me, whether at home, school, work, church, everywhere. So what is the value of Christian higher education? What do I do with a Doctor of Theology degree? My degree represents the investment that I've made to learn more about an amazing God with a mission to save this world. My education and experience allow me to leverage my life within my spheres of influence to glorify a Savior who gave his life for mine. What is the value of Christian higher education? It is priceless and immeasurable in this lifetime. God bless you on your journey to discover all that God has made you to be.
Okay, so let's looking at this explanation. There are several explanations that we can find in the YouTube, but it's help to understand, look at it about Christian education and Christian higher education, theological education, and even missiological education in a broader kind of Christian education. These are under the the umbrella of Christian education. So once you read, those are part of the things that you need to discover and look at it closer. Look into the books that you're going to read. Okay. So do you have any questions? You don't have it, right? How about Philemon? What do you have any question?
I have a little bit question.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Do you have any questions about Christian education, Christian higher education, and theological education?
yeah, the two book, the how in, both education is very important, but which one is first important to do? Christian educate and theology a little bit.
Okay, so Christian education is a very basic understanding of God in God from the Bible, from Old Testament and New Testament, and then you put into kind of looking at in an education perspective, like you put it Old Testament, New Testament education into an understanding of children's, understanding of young adult, young people, older people, and then you put into art and sciences. It's called liberal art education, liberal art. So you put into a college level, uh, basic level, high school level, college level. So when you put together in the context of education in general, that is called education, Christian education. And theological education, you are just focusing on Bible and you study about Old Testament, New Testament in the context of ministry. In the context of ministry, mostly theological education are for the ministry, and Christian education are for career, life, all in general, right? So Christian education is much broader, I would say, much broader, and theological education is specifically for the church, specifically for the ministry. Okay, so that's how we look at it. Many Bible colleges offer uh, art and sciences, right? And that's called Christian education.
Because my question is like for example, theology education is like go to just must go to college, Christian college, right? So
Christian college is for like art and sciences too. When you say Christian education and Christian colleges, you offer not only the Bible, we offer art and sciences. Okay. And theological education is for theological college and seminary, right? Seminary and theological college offer theology concentration. They cannot really offer about art and sciences in theological college and seminary, right?
okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So mostly, yeah. If someone's Georgian, you have something?
No, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So how's your reading going?
Me, sir?
Yes, everybody. For you, everybody.
Sir, I'm telling you the truth. It's rough on me
Mm-hmm.
because of the job and home issues.
Mm-hmm.
Some nights I get home late, and at work I can't really use the book because I'm a nurse.
So you bought the book?
Yeah, but I have the books. Yeah, I have the books.
Yeah. So little by little you can read because I keep time for all to read on your chapter little by little, and then once you're ready, we'll start to have a presentation from the first week of November or so, right? For the first group to present it. And then
Yeah.
the following week will be another group. So we have to cover within November. Okay.
Okay.
Of course, when you read, you have to bring the life development reading summary form with you. Write it down. Okay.
Okay.
Write it down. It's not simply reading it. You have to find out the main ideas and the core concept and the way I try to learn from this uh, life development. Right develop. Sorry. Right development reading summary step by step. Okay. That's why I'm not giving you a lot of Um, I'm not giving you a book summary by per person. So we divide it into chapters, okay?
Okay.
Usually when you get into advanced level, master's or doctoral level, you have to review by yourself for the whole book by one person. It's one of the reading, okay? But for you now, as a bachelor level, you try to learn, you will start learning about reading intentionally. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And based on your submission of your assignments, I will grade you. And the discussion that or the presentation that you make, I will grade you on it. Okay. In that way, you'll get a grade. Okay. That will not be so many assignment, but it will be very intense and it will be heavy to do that. Okay.
Okay.
Any question at all? No more question?
I'm sorry. Um, Philip, person I'm supposed to work with, I can't call his name properly.
Okay.
She,
Your team, right? Your team.
yes. So, we're gonna communicate with Zoom or email.
Okay. I think your friend.
Philemon.
Philemon. Yeah, Philemon.
Yeah.
He will be working on four distinctive theological elements and orthodox foundation. You will work on the reforming views of education and insight from Paulo Freire, right? And point to ponder. This will be you can work together for the last one, but you can have your own section to read.
Okay.
And of course, when you submit, you have to submit as a combined assignment, combined assignments in your, but you each of you has to submit from your own portal, your own Google Classroom,
Okay.
log in and upload it. Okay.
Wait, so do I submit all the five topic too?
Yeah. So yeah, after you work together, you compile it in one one document and then upload it. Okay. I think that
Okay.
will be best. That will be best. And you two will get the same grade.
Okay.
So if you don't have any others, I would like you to divide it into group and you can talk about your assignment. Okay. So I will split you into group and you can discuss about it. Okay. Where is the split discussion? Breakout room. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 group. I put it to 4 group, and according to your group, I will let you talk about your assignment. So let's see, Simon. I move Simon to Simon, and who's your friend, Simon? I know Philemon's and Georgian. Okay.
Peter, me.
Oh, Peter from for Peter Lighting, right? Okay. Like change. Right. Okay, put it here. And Peter Daya and William, right?
Oh,
Me,
David, Pastor,
Huh?
me and
this is
Salapai.
Oh, Lapai. Okay. So I will move this up to Lapai, and this one move down to 2 version, and then David move to Peter Daya, right?
yes.
Okay, so I grouping you in a group, but uh whoever is your team, join the team and spend your time. You have 1 hours to talk about it, and I will get into your group once a while to learn about it. Okay, you have 1 hours to talk about it. Okay, right? Okay, so join your group.
Hello, hello. Yam, takiam. Tuban News, Washington DC, Panina, Katfe, Isa Kimai Sateng or Moda, the unpardonable sin to the Kisai. Isa Kimai Sateng or Moda, the unpardonable sin to the Kisai. Matthew and Sonanian or Sotula Kalasan to Maninas.
The church is going to look very different in the future.
ตัวเต็งอ่ะก้มขบนาคอเพราะว่าชินอีเสียวเลยจักจังอ่ะโอ้ว่าโลปเตเซมปเตเจียงปเตจลนปเตอาปมปเตองจีนะว่าชินปเตชินปเตชินเตจีนะอีมินเทลไว้จักจังอ่ะชินองจีอินตัวโตอามาโลเข้มโลตักนะอีปุยปาเตเป็นชินนั่นน่ะจิวอีตัวปนินชินจิกำไอ้ตัวองจีเป็นลายสักทีไอ้เปลี่ยนปีเปล่าเอียดตรงนี้
좀 상급된 친정 숙시함이 친대 꼴뻔한 라키함지래 친히 뻔하라 친히 변 꼴뻔한 바이함지래 까베라이 보수가 이런 만강대 조금만 좀 질라이 나 부미를 꼬야함지래 부수우성의 질로이다 까 부변 친히우히야 지대 친히우변 만강대 로테로는 친히 지로 겨울에 나게야 나 좀더 봐봐 만강대 친히우지나 나 로서고 로테로리 不仅一起变过乡起来，不是我看东京一家有我们的多把一送来哈不给忙来不尽体力的，那大半年还得说啊很变不尽体力，个体小给来不闹了在恒心了不比吧。不仅是移民边来呢，今天你得讲什么呢？所以说在全球比较不到。
ဆရာကျွန်တော်မိမ appointment ရှိလို့ထွက်လိုက်အောင်မယ်ဆရာ အဲ့မုံကိုလည်းကောင်းကောင်းပြောပြကျွန်တော်တို့ကဒီနေ့သူ့ရဲ့ Saturday Sunday evening ကျွန်တော်တို့ပြန်ချင်းတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့ရဲ့သူကဘာမှမစားသေးဘူးကျွန်တော်တို့နှစ်ခုလောက်တော့ပြီးခါနေပြီ
okay
ဟိုနည်းနည်းဟိုကျွန်တော်တို့တိုင်ပင်ချက်ရှိလို့အဲ့ဒီချိန်ပြန်
okay
ကျွန်တော်က
ဖတ်ထားပေါ့
ဆရာတစ်ဆရာတော်တော်များဖတ်ထားပြီလို့ပြောတယ်
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ okay
ကျွန်တော်ကမဖတ်သေးတော့ဆရာသူဖတ်တဲ့ဟာပဲနည်းနည်းသူဆွေးနွေးပေးတယ်
အချိန်တော့ယူတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့အပတ်တိုင်းပေါ့နော်ပထမပိုင်းခဏတော့နည်းနည်းဆွေးနွေးပါလေဒါမဲ့ပတ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့တစ်ခေါက်ရှိအောင်မယ်ပေါ့နော်ဒါမဲ့ပတ်
ဟုတ်ပြီဟုတ်ပြီ
ဒါမဲ့ပတ်တော့ဒီလိုပုံစံတစ်ခါလုပ်မယ်ပြီးနိုဝင်ဘာကျရင်တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီ presentation လုပ်တော့မယ်နော်
okay okay
okay ဟုတ်ပြီအဲဆိုရင်ခင်ဗျားတို့အချိန်ပူရတာပေါ့ဒီကိုလည်းမလွယ်ဟုတ်တယ်မ
ဟုတ်တယ်ဟုတ်တယ်
ဆရာကြီးဖုန်းနံပါတ်က6159နဲ့ဆုံးတယ်မလားဆရာကြီး
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ဟုတ်ကဲ့
အဲ့ဒါပဲနော်အေးဒီမှာပေါ်ပြီကြည့်စုပဲရပြီအခုကျွန်တော်ပို့လိုက်
okay ဒါဆိုရင်တခြားဒီလိုလောက်တာဆင်ပြေကြလား
ပြည့်တယ်ဆရာ
တည်တယ်ဆရာ
okay တီတန်တီတန်ပြန်တွေ့ဖို့လည်းမလွယ်တော့ဘူးဆိုတော့နော်မနေ့ပရမအပိုင်းနိုင်ဝက်လောက်ဒီလိုကျွန်တော်နဲ့တွေ့ပြီးမှ
အဲ့လိုမျိုးလုပ်ရင်ကောင်းမှာဆရာကြီးအခု idea ကောင်းတယ်အခုလိုမျိုးလုပ်တာကောင်းတယ်ကျွန်တော်ဆရာပဲမရှိဘူးဆိုတော့
အေးပေါ့နော်
နည်းပပ idea ရလीနော်
ကို
တန်းစီကိုပြန်တွေးဖို့လည်းမလွယ်ဘူးနော်ကျွန်တော်တို့က
ကိုပိုင်တော့ဖတ်ထားပေါ့ပြီးလို့ရှိရင်
ဟုတ်တယ်ဖတ်မှာပဲပြောစရာရှိမှာ
ဆွေးနွေးပြီးမှအထူးသဖြင့်လာမဲ့ပတ်လောက်ဆိုရင်ဘယ်လိုလုပ်မလဲဆိုတော့လာမဲ့ပတ်ကြရင်အားလုံးကနေပြီးမှဖတ်ထားတဲ့ main idea တွေ core concept တွေပေါ့နော် assignment တွေပေါ့နော်အဲ့ဒါများတို့ယူဆောင်လာပြီးမှပေါ့နော်document တစ်ခုနဲ့အားလုံးပေါ့နော်ဒီဒါ၄ခုလောက်ဆိုရှင်တော့ဒီစာရွက်၄ခုလောက်ဖြစ်သွားမလဲဆိုတော့ပူတီချအောင် main idea core concept ပို့ပြီးမှစနစ်တကျဖြစ်အောင်ပြန်ဆွေးနွေးလိုက်ပေါ့နော်ဟုတ်ပြီနော်ဒါဆိုရှင်တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီတင်ယူမှုကတော့ပိုကောင်းမယ်ပေါ့နော်အဲ့တော့ဒီတကယ် college စနစ်ဖြစ်သွားမယ် university စနစ်ဖြစ်သွားမယ်တော်များများတော့ဒီကျန်းစာသင်တန်းကျောင်းတွေမှာဆရာတွေကတောက်လျှောက် lecture ပေးတာပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒါကြတော့များလွန်းတယ်ပေါ့လွန်းတယ်ပေါ့လွန်းတယ်ဆိုတော့အားလုံးကဆွေးနွေးရမှာပေါ့နော်ဆွေးနွေးပြီးမှမရှင်းတာရှိရင်တော့ကျွန်တော်အနေနဲ့ကိုနေပြီးလို့ရတာကိုနေပြီးမယ်ပေါ့နော်โอเคဟုတ်ပြီဒါဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဒီလောက်နဲ့ပဲနားကြအောင်နော်
ဟုတ်ကဲ့
ဟုတ်ကဲ့
ကောင်းပြီ
okay good night
ကျွန်တော်ပဲဆူတောင်းမယ်လေဆူတောင်းအနာယူကြအောင်နော်အဖျားချီတင်နေဒီညကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီတင်ခန်းစာအတွက်ပြန်လည်ပြီးမှဆွေးနွေးခွင့်တို့ပြင်ဆင်ပြီးတော့အကြောင်းပုံကြီးတို့ကိုချီးမွမ်းတယ်ဖဗျာအခုနာယူကြမှာဖြစ်တယ်ညအိတ်ဆက်တဲ့နာယူမဲ့လူများတော့၎င်းနေ့လေအလိုလိုသွားမဲ့လူများတော့၎င်းကိုတော့အတူပါဆွေကောင်းကြည့်ပေးပါမယ်အကြောင်းဆုတောင်းပါတယ်အဗျာဒီအစီအစဉ်မှာဒီ class ထဲမှာပါဝင်တဲ့သားသမီးရောက်စီတိုင်းနဲ့အတူပါရှိတော့ပါပို့ဆောင်ပါမယ်အကြောင်းနဲ့ဒီလုံးစုံတို့ကိုကြီးတော့ချီးမွမ်းတဲ့အခါမှာခရစ်တော်နာမအားဖြင့်ကြီးတော့ချီးမွမ်းတဲ့ဆုတောင်းပါအခါပြတဲ့ခင်အာမင်အာမင်နော်
ကဲချီး
ဆရာကြီးကျွန်တော်ခဏလေးပြောလို့ရမလားမသိ